They think Shavasana is a waste of time. They want to do all asanas, but it's very hard to lie down, without doing anything with your eyes closed. If you're sleeping, that is fine, but to do Shavasana, they think, they soon come out of it, people. But actually, 50% of the benefits of the asanas that you had been practiced, you get only if you practice Shavasana at the end. So during asanas, the main difference between asanas and other physical form of exercises, maybe aerobics or running or whatever. In physical exercises and all, you will be basically burning calories, right? Whereas in yogasana, you will be conserving energy. And for this energy to assimilate into your energy body, that happens when you do shavasana. Otherwise, it will soon, dissipate. Just to absorb the energy to the system, you have to give some time.
Yeah. I was also kind of thinking about last Sunday or the Sunday before, in Chinmaya, Swamiji was saying, why is it, it's like, he says that when we are awake, going through the day, our it's not just the mind, our investment, like even the Atman, is so fragmented. He says, think about it. Even a small thing like cell phone, you are given your energy away to a cell phone, your watch, your people around you, and so many things that you're doing and reading. So your whole being is fragmented into so many things during the day. But when you are sitting at meditation, you are calling all that energy back into you, And this is something you have to start noticing, how you are fragmenting. Why do you feel so not whole? He was saying, because some of us were mentioning when we do the meditation, it goes well, but we can't replicate that in real life. When we come out of meditation, our mind is all over and you don't have the silence and the meditation. It feels like as if meditation is an activity you do and in which place you are completely with yourself. And for that he was answering, that's because your energies are fragmented into. I said, wow, so you have to recall all of that and you have to practice that during your daily routine time, how to recall, be aware that how much of time you have invested in this, or some thoughts of the past and the future most of the time. And then he said that will bring you to the presence. The moment your awareness comes to the presence, then you will drop into that space. But I was just kind of trying a few times, but it doesn't. I mean, actually, with so many things going on, it's very hard. It's not like it is hard, but it is unawareness. Unconsciously we do that. So much of awareness we need to bring.
Yeah, that is true. We can start with the Sahana Vavatu mantra. You can probably repeat after together. Om Sahana Vavatu.
Om Sahana Vavatu.
Sahanau Bhunaktu.
Sahanau Bhunaktu.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Ma vidvishavahai.
Mahavitvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Feel like doing a couple of other Shanti mantras. Om Apyayantu.
Om Apyayantu.
Mamangani.
Mamangani.
Vat prana chakshuhu.
Vat prana
श्रोत्रमधो
श्रोत्रमधु
बलमिन्द्रियाणि
बलमिन्द्रियाणि
च सर्वाणि
सर्वाणि
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
माहं ब्रह्म
माहं
निराकुर्यां
निराकुर्यां
मा ब्रह्म
मा ब्रह्म
निराकरोत्
निराकरोत्
अनिराकरणम्
अनिराकरणम्
अस्त्वन्निराकरणम्
अस्त्वन्निराकरणम्
मे अस्तु
मे अस्तु
तदात्मनि
तदात्मनि
निरते य उपनिषत्सु
य उपनिषत्सु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु
धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु
ते मयि सन्तु
ते मयि सन्तु
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता
ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता
मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम्
मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम्
आविराविर्म एधि आविराविर्म एधि
आविर्म एधि
वेदस्य
वेदस्य
म आणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा
श्रुतं मे
प्रहासीः
प्रहासीः
अनेनाधीतेन
अनेनाधीतेन
अहोरात्रान्
अहोरात्रान्
सन्दधामि
सन्दधामि
ऋतं वदिष्यामि
कृतं वदिष्यामि
सत्यं वदिष्यामि
सत्यं वदिष्यामि
तन्मामवतु
तन्मामवतु
तद्वक्तारमवतु
तद्वक्तामवतु
अवतु माम्
अवतु
अवतु वक्तारम्
अवतु वक्तारम्
अवतु वक्तारम्
अवतु वक्तारम्
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः
शृणुयाम देवाः
शृणुयाम देवाः
भद्रं पश्ये
भद्रं पश्ये
आक्षभिर्यजत्रा
अक्षभिर्यजत्रा
स्थिरैरङ्गैः
स्थिरैरङ्गैः
तुष्टु
तुष्टु
वाङ्सस्तनूभिः
वांस्तस्तनूभिः
व्यशेम
व्यशेम
देवहितं यदायु
देवयदायु
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो
वृद्धश्रवाः
वृद्धश्रवाः
स्वस्ति न पूषा
स्वस्ति न पूषा
विश्ववेदाः
विश्ववेदाः
स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो
स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो
अरिष्टनेमिः
अरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्
दधातु
दधातु
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya
Om Asato
Ma Satgamaya
Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya
Tamaso
Soma Jyotirgamaya
Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya.
Amritam Gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti
Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So these are all Shanti mantras from different Upanishads, and we started learning Nadabindu Upanishad last time, right? The first chapter we did, I think. We did the opening invocation
And the first verse.
and the first verse, yes. I think we can do the opening invocation, we can repeat that and then move on to the second verse today. Vairajatmopasanayam
Upasanaya
Sanjata
Sanjatanyana Bhaktina
Daktva Karmatrayam Yogi
Tattva Karmatrayam Yogi
Yatpadam Yati Tadbhaje.
Yatpadam Yati Tatbhaje.
Om Vame Manasiti Shantihi.
Om Vame Manasiti Shantihi.
The translation quickly: having burned the three karmas through the fire of knowledge, born through devotion to the self derived from Viraj, the yogin goes to that seat where he worships. Om, let there be peace in speech and mind. Just to read the the first verse also. Om Akaro
Om Akaro
Dakshina Paksha
Dakshina Paksha
Ukarastuttara Smritaha.
Ukarastuttara. I'm sorry, how does that go again?
Ukarastuttara
Ukarastuttara
Smritaha. Yeah, Akaram is Dakshina Paksha, Ukaram is the Uttara Paksha. Makaram Prichhamityahu.
Makaram Pritchamityahu.
Makaram is backside, Pricham is the backside. So it's talking about the A, U and Ma syllables of Om, where they are placed, all these syllables. Arthamatra tu mastakam. The bindu is in the mastakam, the middle of the brain. Arthamatra. If you write Om, there is an Arthamatra on the top, right? When it comes to the sound, A, U, Ma, the Ma with the mouth closed, and then you have a pause, silence. These three states, 4 states are also compared to Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti and Turiya states. A, U, and the silence. A is the wakeful state, U is the sleep, the Swapna state, the dream state. Makaram is the Sushupti, and the silence is the Turiya state. Yeah, Turiya is the state which transcends all these 3 states of Jagra, Swapna and Sushupti. It's all interconnected, so different Upanishads deal with different subjects. There is an Upanishad dealing with only Om. There is an Upanishad which deal with all these 3 states of consciousness. But you will see so much similarities. They are all states from, when you look from different angles, they appear to be different. Otherwise, they are all one and the same. The second verse is talking about the quality of Om. We'll read the words and then Anvayam, translation and commentary. Padadikam
Padadikam
Gunasatasaya
Gunasatasaya
Shariram
Shariram
Sattvamuchyate
Sattvamuchyate
Dharmosya
Dharmosya
Dakshinam
Dakshinam
Chakshuradharmotho
Chakshuradharmotho
Parasmritaha
Parasamritaha
Uchyate Sattvam Uchyate, it is said, gunas, qualities of nature, tamas, rajas and sattvam, adikam, start at pada, at the feet. Tasya shariram, its body, dharma, harmony, smritaha, it is declared, asya dakshinam chakshu, its right eye. The dharma is its right eye, and Adaha, adharma, disharmony is the left eye. So here it is talking about the duality of dharma and adharma as, two eyes, the right eye and the left eye. It's about, again, talking about Om. It is said the gunas start at the feet, sattvam is its body, it is declared it is the right eye, and adharma is the other. Let's also read the commentary. The symbol of Om as described previously represents the essence of the sound and therefore contains within it the potentiality of the entire creation, both manifest and unmanifest. So it is said that the gunas or qualities of nature start at its feet or base, where they remain in equilibrium. The three gunas are tamas, which is stability, rajas, which is movement, and sattva, which is balance. Creation begins when there is some slight movement, some slight interaction between the gunas, causing one of them to become dominant. And so, sattva becomes dominant as the body of Om. This signifies that Om comes into being as a pure and balanced vibration. Whatever becomes manifest enters the dimension of duality. Hence, dharma is its right eye and adharma its left eye. The eyes here represent the sense of perception. Dharma refers to right perception, which leads to connection and harmony with the divine. Adharma refers to wrong perception leading to disconnection and disharmony. So you can also compare it with Maya, the illusion, right? The adharma or the wrong perception. And dharma is the right understanding of the reality as it is. So both are there. Once manifestation happens, the duality is automatically there. That's why the manifestation has happened. A slight movement. Saundarya Lahari Shankaracharya says, without the Shakti, Shiva can't even, 1 inch also he cannot move, it seems. So it's all interconnected. So the same thing also mentioned here in another way, how the creation happens.
So what does it mean that it is said that the gunas or the qualities of nature start at its feet or base? Now, how do we, but Om, the sound of Om is pure and sattvic, it says, right?
It's a combination, right? It's
a combination.
Yeah.
But how do we is there a way one can understand or visualize, like where, in relationship to consciousness, how does this Om? Looks like Om is already born. Its consciousness is
So in the manifested form, it has the dualistic nature of dharma and adharma.
Right.
But in the unmanifest form, it doesn't have that duality. It is just one. And at the base, at the feet, when it says, that is the origin, how this originates, right? All these three qualities interact. One of them will be predominant in each person. In anything, there are all these three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, it is there.
Right.
One of them will be predominant. So, in the process of spirituality, we learn how to reduce the tamas and the rajas and develop more of sattvic qualities in order to, refine oneself and reach closer towards the truth. So in the beginning, I think it's in the Anvaya, they have mentioned about the English terminology for sattva, rajas and tamas. Tamas is stability, basically it's the stability.
It's interesting, it's mentioned as stability.
We call it inertia sometimes, right?
Right.
So that inertia is kind of a stability, but it is unconscious, not in a manifested form.
Yeah. Stability in an unconscious way.
Yeah.
I think what's happening in my mind is I'm trying to picture if there is a movement in consciousness, some type of movement in consciousness, then creation is happening. But then the base of that creation is the three gunas. So is Maya, is it like Maya, the moment they say Maya or Ishvara, it's referred to as three gunas are already there, right? So is it the you said first origin? So Maya is taking birth like that, from this.
Maya is not there actually.
Yeah, it's an illusion. Okay.
Right. So it is like the mirage. When you go on a highway, you see there is water far. You think there is water. When you reach nearer, it is not there. It is just a perception. Is not in the right way.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just seemingly there. That's it. Yeah.
So who is seeing this at the first? There is no one to see at this point where the origin. Like when the creation is happening, right? Whose perception is distorted?
So we are trying to understand this phenomenon through our mind, through our intellect. And we are talking about something beyond the field of mind and matter, right? So there is a story of Heraclitus. I don't know if you have heard that story. He's the guru of Socrates. So Socrates used to go for walk every day by the beach. He saw one person, digging a small hole in the beach, and with a spoon he is taking water from the ocean and pouring it into the small pit that he is making. So Socrates used to watch this every day. He is doing this. The same time when he walks, he is able to see this person doing the same thing. So one day he was curious and he went and asked him. Initially he thought maybe he's just crazy, and then asked, "What are you trying to do?" And he said, "I am trying to empty the ocean, into this small pit with the spoon." Then Socrates started laughing. He laughed and said, how is that going to be possible with a small spoon like this? When are you going to do all this, the entire ocean into this small pit? It's not practical. Then Heraclitus said, "Oh, you understand that much, but then what are you trying to do? You are trying to understand the existence through your intellect. It's no way different. How is it going to be practical?" So that's how Socrates accepted him as a guru.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is what is happening when we try to understand these things intellectually. These questions are all coming from the Swadhisthana chakra level. But this understanding is of the Sahasrara. When you transcend all the chakras at the bodily level, and when you transcend that, and the Turiyam, not in Jagra, Swapna or Sushupti, but in the Turiyam. In Sushupti, we are in that state, but we are not consciously understanding or experiencing it, right? But Turiyam is a conscious state of understanding the reality, of understanding the truth, but it cannot be interpreted through the mind. When you want to interpret it through the words, it doesn't fit. It's like the spoon. You're using the spoon to empty the ocean. Little bit of water, the water you get in the spoon also has the quality of the essence of the ultimate, but you still don't get the whole. And mind always perceives in duality. If you say something, it has the other side. So transcending this duality is the secret, is the key. Whenever the duality comes in front of you, you have to negate both, or you accept both as one. That way, when we practice, when we train the mind, it will eventually get to that quality of sattva, and it's easier to be in that experience. And
the reason this question is coming up also, it's a little digression. Last night, my daughter, she was sitting and talking for some time, and she said, "Mom, if we are already consciousness, then why are we taking all this birth, going through all this drama of life, and then again we are realizing and becoming consciousness? What is the purpose of consciousness to go through all this?" I said, "I don't know. I've heard it as Maya, it's our illusion, it's our Maya. And so that means all that is happening right now, this drama that happens in our life, we are imagining." I said, I said, maybe you should talk to Swamiji at the Chinmaya mission, because I won't be able to answer that question. I was that kind of led to the same thing. It is, anyway, it's too much digression. We won't do that, yeah.
So, we all dream during the night when we sleep. We all have dreams, right? And it's so real when you are dreaming. You go through experiences, different experiences, pleasant and unpleasant. But once you wake up from the dream, you understand that was just an illusion. That was not the reality. You are out of it. You don't have the same fear or whatever. Happiness, or it's all not real. It doesn't, it's just a creation of the mind. So in life also, whatever is happening right now, it all seems real for us. But once you are out of it and you see from a different perspective, from a higher dimension, when you look at this life, it was not there. All these relationships, all these happenings, events, that we are so much attached to, all our possessions. Nothing was real. It was just like a dream, and it doesn't really make sense. The being that you are, the consciousness that you are, that is beyond all this. This was just a play of the mind. What is this mind? This mind is just a habit. It is like a program. It just goes on automatically, like the creation happens, then it sustains, then dies off, right? What Shankaracharya calls punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. So this cycle is going on. It's a habit, and you don't know the way out of it. It's automatically being there in the cycle, and it keeps going. But if you look at the process of evolution theory, the Malsya Kurma Varaha Narasimha, right? How that Dashavatara, it's similar to the Darwin's theory of
evolution.
Yeah. So how the fish became an amphibian, how the amphibian became a bird, right? An animal. So out of all the fishes, one fish wanted to come out of it and experience the outer world.
Yeah.
So same thing. Out of we all are born as human beings. We have the human body and mind, and out of them, out of 1,000 people like that, just one person felt, "What rubbish is this? This keeping on repeating. I just need to be out of this misery." And then he meditated and he found a way, and he has shared with his fellow beings. Out of 1,000 people who got to listen to this, understand this, one person might try. Out of 1,000 people like that trying, one person might attain. This all comes in the Gita, right? This statistics. Yeah. So the story goes like that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's too many things coming up in my space. I think I won't. It'll be different discussion about that. Yeah.
So we can do some meditation now. Listening to the Anahatanada, closing the ears using the Shanmukhi Mudra. When you're ready, you can gently release the mudra and open your eyes. So, approximately how many minutes we would have sat in meditation now?
It felt like a long time. Can't tell. Maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes. So, whatever is happening in our day-to-day life, if we can spare 10 minutes for this meditation, will that be available? 10 minutes a day?
Yeah, of course.
At any time of the day, there is no restriction of time, or there are no conditions that you need to satisfy, like don't practice immediately after food, nothing like that. Whenever it is most convenient for you, when you are least disturbed, maybe at least before going to sleep, you haven't done that, just sit for 10 minutes and then go to sleep. Like that, if you can make it part of the daily routine, you can see a steady progress. Eventually, gradually, it will be more and more interesting when you start hearing new sounds, that we have never heard before. If you are in India, you don't get this kind of a condition. It is never silent like this, like how we experience here, right? Always some noise or the other is there. But here, naturally, we have that conducive environment. We can easily make use of that. Start with 10 minutes. Maybe like after some time you feel already 10 minutes over, but if you look at the time, it might have only passed 1 or 2 minutes. The psychological time might be different. Then you continue to meditate. Make sure you sit for 10 minutes, whatever, right, without interruption. If you want, you can keep alarm if you are busy or something. Otherwise, if you exceed the time to 15 or 20 minutes, nothing wrong, no harm. It's very beneficial. Only hindrance is when your hands start to hurt. So the technique I taught we can devise your own method, something to support the elbows or your own legs, your own knees. Sit in a posture so that you can support the elbows and plug the ears. And then we start to hear different sounds. Some people tend to interpret the sound. Okay, this is sound of my heartbeat. This is the blood circulation.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say that. Once I close, when I'm not, like normally I'm hearing that high pitched sound, then when I close, I feel like, oh, this is the rush of the blood, and then there is an upward movement, and it initially feels like as if when you see a fire from inside the boiler, that you feel like that, and then you interpret that to mean, oh, it's the blood that is rushing. Then I was actually asking right now mind was asking, why is it rushing up? In the sense, blood should be circulating all over. Why does it feel like rising? Why doesn't it feel like as if it's going down? So then I said, maybe I'm hearing the arteries instead of, the vein, whatever.
Yeah, this is how the mind tricks us, and it carries away from the meditation itself. So don't try to interpret the sounds that we hear. You don't have to name them. You don't have to compare them with any other sound that we are already familiar with. Okay, this is the sound of flute, tambura, bell, or drums, nothing. You don't have to really name them or identify with anything that you already know. Just simply listen to the sound as it is. Like Jiddu Krishnamurti says, can you watch a tree, see a tree without its name, having the name of the tree in your mind. Name and all we have given, right? It's just look at it as it is, without naming it or thinking about it. The mind has the habit of thinking about it, and it carries you away from the actual activity. So from today until we meet next week, you can just commit for 10 minutes daily for this practice at your convenience, any time of the day. Maybe as soon as you wake up, sit for 10 minutes. Or just before going to sleep, or any other time of the day, whenever you are comfortable. There will be no phone calls or anything, right? The least disturbed time you choose, and try to get into the practice. That way only we will progress. Otherwise, it will be all just intellectual thing. The book is there. It's just an excuse just to keep us inspired and keep us going. It's just an activity to keep us motivated. Otherwise, practice is the most important.
So on the right ear, I know there are lots of writings which talk about listening to the sound in the right side. Now when we're talking about the quality of Om, and there's this thing being right side being dharma and all of that, the English word for right is also right, R-I-G-H-T, which is also interesting. Having said that, I think 2 nights ago I found this big article, I think written by the Scandinavian yoga place.
Janakananda, right?
I'm sorry?
Janakananda, right?
I forget the name of this person. He's a white guy, I think,
Okay.
some Asian person. So the first article that I came across didn't say to look for the sound in the right ear, but to look for it in the Bindu chakra. Can't find it there, then he says go to Ajna or to Sahasrara, but look for the sound there. Is that like an advanced stage of the Nadayoga, or is it something else?
See, these are all connected with the chakras, and this position, all those things are, it is already there. We don't have to do anything about it. You will feel it, you will experience it where it is supposed to be. So don't have to worry about those things. There is nothing like advanced or like beginning stage or nothing like that. It's all everything already there. Our mind just needs to be sharp enough to listen to the subtler sounds. So as you keep
Why
listening,
right ear? Why can't you just close your ears and just listen in your, I don't know, wherever the sound comes?
you can do that. Don't
What
worry.
is the significance of doing it on the right side as such? Why is everyone saying if you close your ears, you have 2 ears, you've got 2 hands that
Yeah.
you're closing your ears with?
So
Why?
if you leave it for yourself, you don't want to fix it right or left, still you will hear it on your right side. It can also vary. Sometimes it can switch to the left and right, like how the breath, one nostril is partially closed, one nostril is partially fully open. That keeps changing, right? It keeps alternating. So our body, the balance, the flow of energy, it's all a flux. It's not fixed. You might think right, try to focus on right, but it can switch to the left also. So just leave it to the natural way of listening to it. It will guide you in the right way. The body knows, it's so. Just need to be aware and focus. That's all.
Got it.
You may say right, and the next moment it could be left, and it's all about perception, right, left, and all.
But are we moving the perception every time it happens that, oh, it's shifted to my left, now I have to move it to the right? So that's effort.
That is the habit of the mind, right? It wants to keep switching from one to another. It's all game of the mind. But the technique, the ancient seers have taught. They already experienced that, and they know the inner sciences in connection to it. We try to follow that technique, right technique, then we are good. Otherwise, we learn by ourselves. Nobody tells you anything. Also, still you can know all these things. But you have the GPS. It's easy to reach the destination. The 5 horses tied to the chariot. If all the 5 go in 5 different directions, you won't reach the destination, right? So those 5 horses are the Panchendriyas. So the focus, the one-pointed attention is what is our goal. Steadfast on that. If you keep going, it's easier.